Hello my friends and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. Here on the channel where I'm gonna talk about different topics about Italy. Okay, so today I'm making my usual weekly video about expat expectations. So basically the expectations of the people who move to Italy or they would like to move to Italy. And so I'm following a group on Facebook which is called Expats Living in Italy. I would recommend to everyone to join this group on Facebook if you are interested in relocating or moving here or even on holiday. Anyway, for many different reasons you might want to know about Italy. I would recommend you this group because you can find a lot of interesting information. Okay, so generally I take the most interesting post for me of the week and I'm reading the post and then I'm gonna read in the comments and analyzing anyway what's the point of the situation. Okay, let's enter into the video, but please put like and subscribe if you want to know more about Italy and if you like to keep up to be in update with Italian news and with Italian dynamics and so on. Alright, so let's start. First of all, it's an anonymous participant. Someone didn't want to put his name, that's fine. Now, the question is anyone here able to support themselves with running Airbnbs in Italy? Would you mind sharing your experience? Thanks. Okay, let's start on the post here. So basically this person is interested to know what is about running an Airbnb in Italy. Okay, and then people who have it or their own opinion, anyway, they want to share, so they're writing down and they're writing their comments. Now I want to read some comments. Some are very interesting, some are not, but let me say, let's go and let's start reading here what is about. Now, let's start. If the Airbnb is your sole income, short answer is no. So basically this person said you cannot make your life here in Italy sorry, by running an Airbnb. Anyway, this is the opinion of the person here who wrote the comment. So the answer, short answer is no. Not unless you have some extremely unique property that you manage to rent out all year long. But the majority of times the rentals are only about half the year. Okay, so for example here it's saying you might not be able to rent it always. In some places, for example, you have seasonal periods and so on. Maybe if you see, it might depend, you might not always rent this property 365 days a year. That's what it's saying. Our best year we managed to rent out mid of March to end of October with over 90% occupancy rate during that time. Okay, so this person here who wrote the comment has an Airbnb in Italy. And what is she saying? So the best year we managed to rent out was from the middle of March. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Let me say for 7 months this person has been able to rent out the property with a 90%. So she is complaining, probably she cannot afford to live with only this income. She probably has only one Airbnb, and so anyway it's an extra. Obviously these are extra monies that are entering in this person's pocket. So I might say that anyway can be an investment for sure, but to pretend to live like the question in the post. Anyway, the question is anyone here able to support themselves with running Airbnbs in Italy? Now, to support, do they mean just an extra or for example, to live with that income? Because I'd say to live with that income, most of the people are saying no. Then, if it's about supporting, I'd say that can be a good support. So Italy is a touristic place, and then there are different locations. For example, you might have all the touristic locations related with the sea. Then you might have all these historical cities and historical towns, for example, Rome, Florence, Venice, Naples. The landlords of these cities, obviously they have higher chances to rent it out, for example, all the year around. Or, for example, the mountains, the mountain regions where, according to me, for example, they can rent it during the ski season, during the winter season, and they might also have a potential during the summer. So anyway, now let's read the following comment, which is quite long, but I think is interesting. So someone is saying, we have stayed in dozens of Airbnbs in Italy and have discussed this question with many owners. Low prices combined with increased competition, regulation and taxes makes it a difficult business decision. Now this is a very interesting point, you know, low prices combined with increased competition, regulation and taxes. Regulation and taxes deserve a video itself that I will make in the future, because I want to cover the topic about the Airbnbs, as many people see it as a chance to make some profit, you know. Profits are being made by some owners, especially those who manage multiple properties. Okay, so the more it seems like the more properties you have, the much easier obviously is kind of to run and to make money. But even those are being threatened by new rules, such as the recent national ban on self-check-ins. Now, this is an extremely important topic, because only from the new year started, anyway, a ban on the self-check-ins. Now, I'm not really familiar myself with the Airbnbs, but I watched these on the news. They were talking about the bans of the self-check-ins. I don't really know and understand, anyway, where can be a big difference, for example, but if they're putting some restrictions, let me say, situation might not be the best. Also, keep in mind that in the busiest areas, there is a growing anti-tourist and anti-short-term rental sentiment that can threaten the future of many of these owners. This will be part, for example, of the video, because I saw also on the television here in Italy protest about the short-term rental. Anyway, there were protests against short-term rental, and so the anger is growing towards this, because it's taking accommodation for people, to students who need, for example, to rent for the year, all year round, or for people who are in need of an accommodation and they might find that the prices of the rents are skyrocketing. So this is a huge topic that I will discuss more in the future videos. Most of the small owners have 1 or 2 family properties that they rent out and manage to earn some extra income. Okay, so now you should know, for example, that Italians love to buy properties. Now, I'd say that there's a good percentage. I'm not gonna tell you the exact percentage, but most of the Italians have a second or third properties. Anyway, we say to save the money in the bricks, nel mattone, the brick to build the house. So we call, when we buy a property, we call it as an investment. We buy bricks. So most of the small owners have 1 or 2 family properties that they rent out and manage to earn some extra income. I think the consensus from most we have spoken to is that, unlike in the US, Airbnb properties generally will not support a mortgage. Okay, now it's referring to the US, where it says that Airbnb will not support to pay fully the mortgage, plus all the other expenses of ownership and management. Now I'm watching a lot of American videos and they're all complaining about insurances, and anyway, mortgage is increasing, but in particular about the insurances prices increasing. If, for example, you had several $100,000 invested in tourist areas, you might make a living. Several 100,000. So we are talking about 3, 4, 500,000. And this could be, for example, maybe I'll see by the mid of 2025, but maybe by 2027. I'm always thinking, for example, I need to see how the dynamics in the world are going. But there are some locations, for example, where prices are affordable. I might buy 2, 3 properties and just decide to do that, for example. If you don't have really big expectation, but to make just a small salary to live. If, for example, you have several hundred thousands invested in tourist areas, you may make a living, especially if you manage the properties yourself, at least for now. However, so it's important it says for now, because we don't know also how all these regulations are changing. I'm not happy to see constantly, and this is a big complaint. For example, as a trader in the stock market, oh my gosh, I see nearly every day changing regulations and taking more money here and taking more money there. Anyway, I'm off now at the moment. I'm not doing anything from this point of view. However, it would be easier and perhaps more profitable to invest those some funds and earn interest and possibly capital gains. So, for example, this is a very good point. This is partially what I'm doing. So, for example, interest rates are not bad. So, if you have a good lump of money, put on some funds, that might give you a return, and on a big amount of money, that's already a good return. Anyway, this was a very, very interesting comment. Then, let me see what someone else is saying. Adding to these comments, which I agree with completely, in Italy, Airbnb now deducts tax before the money is paid to you, which leave even less room for maneuver. I don't know, maybe I think this person wrote wrongly, but the point, the last word. But this is interesting, that for example I didn't know, which I agree with completely. In Italy, Airbnb now deducts tax before the money is paid to you. So, and then probably you still might have to pay taxes on the gains on your total income. So, interesting. So, and she said which leaves even less. Interesting. These are all, things that if you want to buy a property and to invest and to rent out, so to take with carefully all this information, again, from people who are already into this experience, because personally I'm not, so I cannot give advices. For example, I'm only reading what people expectations are. Someone else say just straightforward, nope, there's no chance you can make money to live with an Airbnb, with just one Airbnb. Then if you have 2, 3, 4, 10, that's another story. Now let me say, someone else say, yes indeed, my Airbnb on Lake Garda, so someone has an Airbnb on Garda Lake. This is very, very interesting. Now Garda Lake we know is extremely touristic. My UK Airbnb, so as a B&B in Italy, a B&B in UK, has been my only income since I came to Italy in 2018. So there are 2 Airbnbs, and it's 6 years this person is living just with the profit coming from the Airbnbs. That's interesting, that's very interesting. And I've done very well and live a comfortable life. Nice, I like it. I bought a villa near the lake that I can rent out for 400, 500 euro a night in summer, during the summer. Now, for 500 euro a night, wow, wow, I have to say. But he's talking about a villa on Garda Lake. I made a video about properties on sale in a town on Garda Lake, and the villa is not costing less than 600,000 euros, okay? The cheapest villa you find on Garda Lake is around 600,000, then maybe depend, a lot of things, you know, renovation, not renovation, make it a very high standards. I believe this person probably spent around 1 million, because I saw the property on the market around Garda Lake and prices are simply mad. A generic property, I don't want to imagine a villa. So even a night in summer. So even with all the taxes and commission, it pays well. I'm very happy for this person, because for me he's a smart person, he's someone who uses the brain. Chapeau. I do all the cleaning and maintenance myself to keep costs down. Plus, ultra. This is a plus. Wow, amazing. I really like this guy. He deserves a like. He doesn't have likes under his post. Wow. Under his comment he doesn't have like. No, sorry, he has 24 likes, sorry. Then someone replied to him, from only that, no pension or other interest yielding investments. Someone is asking if might have other incomes. He said that he has 2 Airbnbs. Maybe he has a pension or interest yielding from investments. Anyway, we don't know, but we might guess. We need to chat if you're available. Someone else is saying, we need to chat if you're available. We run and own several Airbnbs in BC, Canada, and we are currently looking for properties to do the same in Italy. This is a Canadian person who is already doing that in Canada, and they love Italy. They might love the idea to move to Italy, and so on. Why not? If you have cash, if you have money, you're welcome, in particular to Italy. In Italy, everyone who has money is welcome. They open the arms to you, because everyone wants to take something. Another big topic. Anyway, how many beds, baths for that amount? And he replies, for example, and say, feel free to take a look, sleeps up to 8 people. Okay, and then he put the advertising, so the Airbnb.ie, so means this person is Irish, probably, because if I read Airbnb.ie, I don't know, I'm not familiar with the Airbnb website, I never even enter. So Villa in Toscolano Maderno. Anyway, if you go on expats living in Italy, and then you find this post, was posted yesterday, so you might find yourself, then you can enter in the link. So it says 3 bedrooms, 5 beds. Okay, 5 beds means maybe some are double beds. He said can sleep up to 8 people, 2.5 bathrooms. Anyway, it's a villa. It's a villa. So anyway, interesting. Then let me see what's next. It all depends on the property. I know from experience that in the same city one property can rent 50-80 euro per night, alright, where another one can rent for 250 or 400 euro per night. So as you can guess, you can make a living from the second one, but it was also much higher investment. So it says that from the first, from 50 to 80, maybe it's difficult to make living of a property rented for 50 to 80 euro per night. It might be hard to make living, but if you make between 250 and 400 euro per night, but that obviously means a bigger investment. We understand this dynamic. Obviously, if you buy a property that you can rent out for 300 euro a night, so it means you spend some money. Now, all about another post, another comment, all about choosing the right property. If you buy a flat, you want to live in a long term, you will be a nice side income. Okay, this is a bit, I think it's not really written in the proper form, but it means you buy a property and you might rent maybe a room or 2 rooms as an Airbnb, then you can make living. You are also living in that property, maybe no mortgage, cash buyer, and so. I bought a B&B and make nice money, but it is not a building to live in more than a couple of months. It is a trade-off. I don't know, I don't really get what he's saying. Maybe you, that you are familiar with English, I'm gonna read it again. I bought a B&B and make nice money, but it is not a building to live in more than a couple of months. What does it mean? From this point of view, I also bought properties where I would never have lived one day, for example, of my life, but I just bought it simply to make profit. I mean, it is a trade-off. Probably this is what, if I understood well, this is what he meant. Okay, now let's read the following comment. Not even Italians do that. It is a side hustle or other form of income. Not even Italians do that. So no, okay, I'd say it's just it is a side hustle or other form of income. Okay, can only be an help, an extra little income, an extra income that can help you to live, but not to make living. That's what I understood. Now, there's one more comment here, the last one, and it's also interesting. Different cities have different laws around how many nights you can rent out. That's very interesting. I didn't know this, for example. For example, Torino is only 90 nights a year that you can rent as an Airbnb. Wow, I didn't know. Which makes renting limited. Of course, I mean, if you can only do 90 nights a year, I mean. There are also new guidelines to follow, and you need to register the guests with the police. So there is admin involved. Okay, now these are new rules that they are putting on. They're setting a lot of new rules on the Airbnb. It's a subject that I still have to study. I never went that deep. When I bought properties to rent out, they were always for long-term rentals, never for short. So I never done short rentals in my life. Other areas you might only have seasonal rentals, which brings the income down, like seaside location, for example. And don't forget maintenance on top of it. Exactly. It's a good side business. So basically everyone is saying that it's a good side business, but not to make living. And a great way to have your holiday home cost, it's a good side business and a great way to have your holiday home costs paid off, typically. Check mine out. So yeah, basically it says that you have an extra income, then you might have the location yourself for the holidays, and so on. Is showing, oh, for example, rent a unit in Limone Piemonte. Now, Limone Piemonte is a skiing area in Piemonte region, the mountains area. So it's a studio, 2 beds, 1 bathroom, and his mate is renting seasonal, probably. But Limone Piemonte is a location where you can also rent in the summer. But for sure, he's using as well for himself. Now, maybe you can help me. I don't know why it appears in all the link of Airbnb, airbnb.ie. Is it because Airbnb is an Irish company? Answer in the comment, because I'm not familiar at all with Airbnb, so I'm opening myself to this type of information. Now, my little Canadian mini lodge in Limone in Piemonte, so yeah, is him. And then also note, new laws means guests are not allowed to have self-check-in, so you need someone to meet and greet at all times now. Okay, so the fact that they are avoiding these self-check-ins, it's making it more complicated for the Airbnb owners. This is what came out, what I understood from this situation. So it means there should be always someone there giving the keys to the person who wants to stay one night, few nights, a week in your Airbnb. Okay, my friends, so from expat expectation, disappointment that is taken once a week here on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. Put like and subscribe if you want to support my channel. And I'll see you to my next video here on Italy, a Place to Love. Bye!